missed us our former president, and we are lucky to have two former presidents amidst us today, and one of whom will be highlighting on the topic today, that is challenges and issues in cost audit. For this program, I welcome all of you, and I would request our chairman and chairman PD to escort the guest to the dais, please. Through the invocation of music, we awaken the depths of our souls, igniting passion and steering emotions. To begin the program, I request Ms. Sanjita for the invocation song.
Gajavadana Veduve, Gajavadana Veduve, Gauri Tanaya, Trijagavanditane, Sujanara Purvane, Gajavadana Veduve, Pashankushadhara Parama Pavitra, Pashankushadhara Parama Pavitra, Mushika Vahana Munijana Prema, Mushika Vahana Munijana Prema, Gajavadana Veduve, Mudadi Ninnaya Padavatoro, Mudadi Ninnaya Padavatoro, Sadhuvanditane, Adaradindali, Sarasi Janabhashri, Purandhara Vithalana, Niratane Deyuvante, Dayamado Deva, Gajavadana Veduve, Gauri Tanaya, Trijagavanditane, Sujanara Purvane, Gajavadana Veduve. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sanjita. Once again, if you can please wait. I would request CMA Purnima to please come forward and hand over a plant to Ms. Sanjita as a token of our gratitude. Thank you, Ms. Sanjita. Thank you, CMA Purnima. It is said that as the lamp is lit, darkness fades away, unveiling a world filled with possibilities and endless opportunity. I request dignitaries to light the lamp, and I would welcome all the members to join us for lighting of the lamp. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. PD CMA Rajesh Devi Reddy to welcome our chief guest today and all the participants.
Wish you all a very warm evening. It is my privilege to welcome you all for the first professional development program on the cost audit, current challenges and practical issues. Let me take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest, CMA Kunal Banerjee sir, former president of our esteemed institute, Rajendra Bose, yeah, CMA Rajendra Bose, Director of Disciplinary Committee, and our beloved CMA GN Venkataraman sir, former President of our institute, and CMA Vishwanath Bhatt sir, Vice Chairman of SRC, former Chairman of SRC, CMA S. Ramesh, okay. CMA B.R. Prabhakar, and former Chairman and Chairperson of Bengaluru chapter, my colleagues in the Management Committee and members of our professions and participants. I welcome all CMA members, young and energetic team of CMAs, future of our profession to this program. Thank you.
Thank you, CMA Rajesh Devi sir. Now I would like to request our chairman, CMA Devraj Ravi, to address the gathering.
Good evening to all. It's my privilege to welcome you all for the program on challenges and practical issues in cost audit. It's really happy moment to all of us that our beloved former president, mentor and backbone of our profession, CMA Kunal Banerjee sir, is here with us to address and enlighten us on the current challenges and practical issues in cost audit. As we aware, with the changes in the business dynamics, changes in technology such as Industry 3.0, 4.0 and marching towards 5.0, and artificial intelligence, machine learning, Power BI and SAP S4 HANA. Expectation from the industry is live casting, and given this as an opportunity, how to gear up to the gap. Let us hear from our today's chief guest. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, CMA Devraj. Now I'd like to request CMA Gurudat to introduce our chief guest of the day.
My dear CMA fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, good evening for all of you. It's my privilege to introduce our today's speaker of the session. It's my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed chief guest for this special occasion. We are truly honored to have an individual exceptional caliber and achievements among us for today. CMA Kunal Banerjee sir, the former president of our esteemed institution, is a renowned figure in our field of the costing, known for his remarkable contributions, visionary leadership, and unwavering commitment to excellence. With a distinguished career spanning several decades, he has left an indelible mark on the profession and has inspired countless individuals along the way. Sir holds a Bachelor of Arts with honors in economics from Presidency College, Kolkata. He is a fellow member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, a fellow member of the Certified Institute of Management Accountants of Sri Lanka, and a member of the Institute of Management Accountants USA. Is a qualified insolvency resolution professional holding registration with Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Sir was elected as the president of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India during 2008-2009. He has been a member of the Central Council of the Institute from 1985 till 2011 and also well represented the Institute in various countries. During the tenure as the council member of the Institute, he has played a significant role in suggesting suitable provisions for the company's bills of 1987, 2008 and 2011, and was a member of the expert group constituted by the Institute for drafting and preparing Institute's proposal and recommendation for the company's bill. Sir has represented the Institute of International Federation of Accountants, South Asian Federation Accountants, and Confederation of Asian and Pacific Accountants. Sir was a member of the Cost Accounting Standards Board of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, as well as the member of the Accounting Standards Board of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Sir was a member of the expert group constituted by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs Government of India to review mechanism of cost accounting records, cost audit and cost accounting standards. He was also a member of Indo-UK Task Force on Corporate Governance constituted by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India. As representative on Indo-UK JECO Accountants Task Force, he was a member of the National Advisory Committee on Accounting Standards. Besides, he has been a member of various other boards such as ASSOCHAM, and the list goes on, ladies and gentlemen. Sir has closely worked in cooperation with Minister of Corporate Affairs in developing the cost accounting records and cost audit, cost in taxonomy and business rules. Sir has authored a book titled Practical Guide to Cost Accounting Records and Cost Audit published by Taxman. Ladies and gentlemen, a loud round of applause for him. And Sir was appointed an insolvency resolution professional for Nico Corporation Limited, and the first case of insolvency under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 carried out in India. Sir has been a speaker and trainer of various programs, conducted a number of in-house training programs on cost accounting records, cost audit, and cost accounting standards for various companies, including Reliance Industries Limited, ONGC Limited, Tata Steel Group, as well as other organizations. Sir is also a recipient of CMA Award for Excellence in Business Management, ladies and gentlemen, by the Certified Institute of Management Accountants of Sri Lanka in 2010. As a thoughtful leader, mentor, and inspiration to many, our chief guest embodies the quality of integrity, resilience, and innovation. Sir's present here today reflects his genuine commitment to supporting and nurturing the CMA professional community. It is a great pleasure that I invite you to join me in extending a warm welcome to our esteemed chief guest. Let us express our gratitude for his presence and equal pride the valuable insights and wisdom he will share with us today. Please join me in giving a resounding welcome to our chief guest. Thank you with a round of applause for him.
Thank you, CMA Guru, that I am sure the list was longer and your cut short sir's profile for the interest of time. But having heard the list of contributions that sir has made to our profession, I think it's time for us to felicitate sir, and then we can move ahead with listening to the sir, on the topic of today from sir himself. Sir, if you don't mind. Thank you, sir. I would like to call upon CMA B.R. Prabhakar, sir, to offer a garland. Next on the list, I would like to call upon one former president to honor the other former president with a Mysore pen. I would like to call upon another senior practitioner, Ramaskanda, sir, to offer a shawl to and in honor. Next, I would like to call upon CMA Venkana, sir. Last but not least on the list, I would like to call upon CMA Umesh Kini, sir, to offer a memento. And Ramesh sir, if you could please come and do a small token.
I have not prepared anything as such. The presentation that is there, it contains actually the entire provisions, including certain issues that comes to us over and over again for clarifications. As I was saying, it would be much better if we do a question answer. This starts from all the amendments that have taken place, and in the initial stage, and let me in the very beginning tell you one thing. I come across many companies as well as cost auditors, those who ask for clarifications from us from the technical cell, and it becomes very apparent that people jump at doing the work, the assignment, the cost audit, without having gone through the rules carefully, properly. This is something essential, and it is because of that people take ad hoc decisions, and this ad hocism gets into the cost audit reports of different companies and especially PSUs. Especially PSUs, not basically not many in the private sector, but PSUs, what happens is people go on changing 2 years, 3 years. Anybody who comes doesn't want to take a responsibility, and as a result, he will go and say, no, 3 years back yahi hua tha, so I am doing this. He won't bother whether it's right or wrong. I face this day in and day out, and it becomes very irritating. You know, what is your reconciling with? What is your background? What is the basis? The second issue is, it's now been quite a number of years. All these new rules, etc. Forget about 1956. I would rather say that we opened a new chapter from 2012 when the new rules came in. Okay, the new rules have changed 2011 then 2014, but basically the structure has remained the same, which was designed to make it more attractive to the companies so that the presentation is much better, so that they understand what they are doing. If you recall, the initial stage in 2011, there was a concept that we introduced as product group. Now that product group did not actually meet the requirement. It was a trial and error method of 2011, which we changed in 2014. 50% of the cost audit reports even today mentions product group. Members do not bother to understand that product group is no more there in Go. Not acceptable to me. I'm extremely particular about it. It's just not acceptable. They still go on using words, terminologies which are no more in vogue, which have actually been removed from the rules, but this still goes on. The third aspect is, we are expected that presentation will improve. The presentation of the cost audit report. See, our members, they go on complaining that we are not cared for. The company has not bothered to send this. You tell me something. If you are presenting a bunch of papers which is not arranged properly, which is not formatted, every page has got different fonts and font sizes, do you think that's a presentable report? It's not. And that is what is done. Finally, when the board sees this, they don't expect anything from you. They just want to get it over with. I'm being very, very critical at the initial stage because I wanted to be critical. I'm being very frank and upfront. Nobody can improve this profession unless you people are careful about it, about your own presentability, about your own presentation. I have put up, even in my book, I had put up a lot of suggestions so far as a cost audit report is concerned. 98% to 99% cost audit report still contains A, B, C, D, E. Beyond that, there is nothing, no other observations. They don't even bother to write that what are the assumptions they have taken to build up the report. Why? Why? I have seen comments after COVID during COVID and after COVID, technicals and your cost accounting standards were put up. Certain suggested formats. At least apply your mind whether that suggested wording applies to your company without understanding that you have copied it. I have seen cost auditors who have copied it. You ask them why you have copied it. Well, then they say, go Institute DI. Are Institute DI, is it applicable to your company? Suppose he is giving a cost audit report for a cost generating plant which has never shut down due to COVID, but he goes on writing because of COVID, my production, etc., everything got hampered. What the hell is this? Don't you understand what you are writing? So, these are things please, after being involved in this entire process with the institute doing keynotes, day in and day out, we used to face the music from the government. Ki kya hoga? Why do you want this? We went ahead and we tried to browbeat, actually go on arguing, discussing. About last year, I met Mr. Somanathan, TV. Somanathan is quite close, and Somanathan was one of the persons without whom, please understand, today's course would not have gotten implemented. He was the Joint Secretary at Ministry of Corporate Affairs at that point of time. And when we presented to him, it was not a presentation. We were talking with Somanathan. And I went and met him at the MCA. And he took 2 days' time. He said, Kunal, come back. Let me go through the expert report, a 600-page report. 2 days back, I was all alone with Somanathan. BB girl was sitting because BB girl was still at the of course, BB girl could not speak in front of Somanathan. He was sitting in a corner. And Somanathan started hammering me, asking questions. I was shocked that how can a person in 2 days' time go through 600 pages of the report and quote relevant points and ask clarification. No joke. No joke. Please understand. He went thoroughly, and the suggestions he gave were absolutely on dot. A few months back when we met, in between also when he left for US, he was in the World Bank. I was in touch with him over mail. He used to give suggestions, personal business suggestions. Isko aise karo, usko aise karo. But the point is, those people don't think they're idiots. Are topmost brains of the country. Persons like Somanathan, they are so intelligent and so fast that you just cannot go to these government people, and that is what we have been doing. Sir, humko ye de dijiye, humko wo de dijiye. No, you have to justify. You have to have that background. You have to know. Without that, even a team of council member goes, within 2 minutes they will understand that this is absolute rubbish. Get them out. चाय वाय पिलाएगा, बोलेगा ठीक है, हाँ वेरी गुड, गार्डन दिया है, फोटो लिया है, ठीक है, चलो. Beyond that, nothing is going to happen, and that is what happens. Please understand, that is what happens. This is the result. The amount of work that went in, that work, we cannot take it forward unless the member substantiates that work. Unless they present the reports in that manner, they write. They have to practice writing. Our members do not have the practice of writing, most of them. I'm not saying obviously all, but most of them. Writing, presentation is something extremely, extremely important. I have seen cost audit reports getting submitted. You are supposed to submit the report to the company. How many reports get submitted? Some in Excel, some in Word, some is here, there, spread across. And finally what they do? After the taxonomy gets filed, report, they get a PDF copy generated out of that for checking. They put stamp on that and say this is the cost audit report. Rubbish. I'm telling you, once I come across such reports, a member shows, we are going to put him under disciplinary action. He should know what he is to submit. Most of the members don't. They only put stamp on that PDF copy of the taxonomy correction sheet. It is not a report. Please understand. These are not. As you know, this cost records audit rules, this got originally issued on 30th of June 2014, superseding the 2011 rules. Please understand, superseding 2011 rules, a lot of concepts got superseded. Please do not follow those concepts of 2011. Read this rule very, very carefully. This rule has undergone amendments till 2017. Okay. Now, this amendment rules 2014 was finally issued on 31st December, which was the applicable rule. Before that, there was no rule of 2014. Never go by the June rules. June rule was absolute rubbish. It had no meaning. The principal rules are still the 31st December 2014. When you are writing an audit report, in the report, many people write companies cost records and audit rules 2014 as amended. It's wrong. Because under the law, it is the principal rule which always plays. Amendments are incorporated into this. That rule has not got amended. The principal rules remain the same. So that is the principal rules. Then you have got 2015, 16, 17. All these got issued. Amendment rules 2000 was issued on 3rd of December. This is the last amendment. As you know, the principles of maintenance of records have been notified in CRA 1. How many of you have read completely the CRA 1? Have you? If you have not, you are at a disadvantage. Please understand, the original CRA 1 was designed based on individual cost accounting standards. When it got issued in December, I had 2 hours time to prepare CRA 1. I simply copy pasted the cost accounting standards and we generated and issued the notification next day. This is the background I'm telling you. And then it got changed. Number of amendments have taken place, especially saying fixed assets, due to the index, due to the other amendments that have come into the financials. Because of those, now if you do not go through the CRA 1, you will make a mistake. The basic principles are very same. There's nothing. But you need to understand what are the things that should form part of the cost accounting structure and which part is to be left out. Imputed costs to be left out, provisions to be left out. These are financial transactions. The financial transactions do not play a role when you are building up the cost. So, in certain areas, especially employee benefits and depreciation, these are imputed costs which are taken into consideration by the financial account. I cannot take it in cost. I have to leave it out. Right? Another very important point is the rules are principle based. Unlike our earlier 56 rules, 1956, prior to 2011 rules when we had industry specific cost audits. It was with a lot of effort that we wanted to remove industry specific because that was the main problem and the hindrance which impeded enhancement of the scope of cost audit. It was only when we could remove that the entire thing could get expanded. Yes, if you ask me, isn't there any shortcomings in the reporting formats today? Definitely there. Definitely there. One has to accept that. CRA 3 prescribes you certain prescriptive formats for reporting of the cost audit report, but there is nothing prescribed so far as maintenance of the cost accounting records are concerned that you can do on your own. Does it mean that when I am reporting, I don't face any problem? I do. As I face this problem mainly, anybody will face, mainly in the service sector. Say like construction industry, if you are trying to report for the cost audit report, there will be problem. I'm not saying that problems aren't there. Apply your mind. Apply your mind. Because there are two types. One is B1, C1, quantitative details and cost statement of manufacturing. Another is C1, C2. So that is for the service. When you are coming for the service, take for example power. If you are in a power generation, then that is in a manufacturing. But if you are in distribution, then a distribution is in a service sector. So you have to apply that. But there are companies, despite the electricity regulations, electricity rules, there are companies who does both generation and distribution. I have clients like that. There, I don't need to show the generation, but I need to show the cost of generation as my input for distribution. In public sector, I have seen our members have prepared cost statement, individual generating units. After generation, it goes back for distribution, so it gets accumulated. What is the company doing? Company has its own generating plant as well as it purchases. Wherever it is generated, then what is it? It's nothing but a captive consumption. So you bring that cost statement up to captive and then take it to the distribution. This report shows nothing in captive. The entire thing goes into the margin as negative. What the hell is this? What are you trying to show? What is the meaning? बोले ऐसी बनाया. Look, you know, a company when he sees that, he also doesn't apply his mind. But if you point out, you feel ashamed because he then laughs at you. बोले यही है तुम कर. This is not done. As I said in the last point, rules are principles. There is no formats are there. Okay, maintain that. But when you move from here to the reporting, you need to understand what you are actually trying to present before the board. It's a question of, say like in your cost audit report, the requirement is what? Requirement is you prepare cost statements based on CTS at 8-digit level. In many companies, say like engineering company. The company, suppose he manufactures washing machines or air conditioners, right? So air conditioner will be 1 ton, 1.5 ton, 2 tons. All will have same CTA code. The point is the sum total of these three presentation is a correct presentation and average cost, or do I present it separately? Right? Now, if you want to do it separately, rather, I will put it in the other way. A company may not want disclosure of every individual thing to the government. I agree. It's a discretion of the company. Company is not flouting the rule. He can combine. But at the cost build-up stage, if you do not do this, then you are nowhere. Then you are only doing averaging. See, when I go for a company, any company, the first question I ask is, what is your objective? Is your objective is compliance of the cost audit report or understanding your cost? If it is compliance, I don't care. Do whatever you want. Fill up some figures and send it in. Now there are companies like that. But now today the understanding realization is becoming more. They would like to know. But if you are really wanting to know the cost, then forget the compliance part. Compliance will automatically happen. You don't need to worry about that. What you need to worry is build up the cost structure, build a very sturdy cost structure. Another thing, which I itself is something very personal to me, that in financial accounting, the generation of the financial records as well as the entire process of coming to the trial balance and profit loss account, which is the outcome of maintenance of the financial accounting, is very automatic, very regimented. You just know that I have to maintain an account according to its nature of expense. I would not book repairs maintenance under employee. I will not book stores consumption under depreciation. So if I do that and follow these basic systematic rules, my financial accounting is over. Bookkeeping. I am not talking of financial decision making. That's at a higher level. I am not going there. That is definitely it's something very important that other managers etc. doing, but they are doing it only after they get this record. In cost, it's not so. Cost also uses the same record to build up the cost. But if you, as a cost auditor or a cost accountant, you go and still go on asking, give me the annexure. Sorry, you are not doing anything. Please understand, you are not doing anything. You are not helping, because this shows you also have not understood what the process is. What is your contribution? What is your contribution? I don't allow any of my clients to do that. They do it only after I put in the structure. You don't go. There are so many members that used to come and say, they did not provide me with the cost record. Do you understand what is a cost record? They don't. What do they want? They want a finished product. Without application of mine, this is not done. What is your contribution? What is it that you are contributing to the company? First do that. Then ask for. My structure when I work, this is something, I was not well. As a result, last 2 years, I really could not undertake any training programs, and now these new council, etc. will come. I've already told them, if we get the chance, I would like to run programs across the country on cost build-up. Very rudimentary example of Excel-based cost structure. Nothing high funda. One has to understand how it is moving, how the cost moves. I will not be able to do it for service sector, but manufacturing sectors definitely I'll be able to do that. I have tried giving this. In my book also that example is there. If somebody follows that, they can build up a cost structure very easily. Obviously they have to apply their mind. I have given a simplistic here, but then unless you do this, the grassroots level, you are not actually making yourself felt to the company. And that is the reason why companies do not find your importance. You understand this? Your importance is going to the company and telling them, boss, this is the way a cost structure is built. Otherwise, what will they do? They'll give you something. See, any housewife also knows cost. Add up everything. Bazaar ho gaya hai. This is my khane ka kharcha. Cost everybody is stop. So companies also do the same. Add everything, divide by the total. Many times I have to tell companies, then why do you want the cost structure? You have your profit and loss account, you have your total expense, you have your quantity, divide it by this. So your cost is there. And that is many people do. Don't get surprised. There are third-party converters for filing cost audit report in XBRL mode. And cost auditors goes and gives them the profit and loss account. Says, isko bhar ke bhar do. Don't get surprised. It happens. Because I get queries when the XBRL doesn't reconcile. Okay. There was one cost accountant, a young cost accountant, a girl, who wrote to me, sir, I need your help to finalize the cost audit report. I mean, for XBRL. आपको कितना देने पड़ेगा? I said, you don't need to give me any paisa. Send me the details. I will help you out definitely. Anybody coming to me, I will definitely help out. My office will help. Not an issue. I got the report, cost audit report. The entire cost audit report was submitted already to the company, signed. IV, having been appointed as, company has not maintained. Nothing has been cut out. It was exact reproduction. I called up and shouted, what the hell is this? And how the company could take this report? What is the face? Sir, हमको पता नहीं था। इसमें पता होने का क्या मतलब है? This fact. As a next year you come like this, I will make sure you lose your license. I will not allow such people to be in the market. सीधा बात. इतना मेरा पावर है, हम कर देंगे. यही लेके, ये नहीं चलेगा. What do you teach? How do you teach? Who do you teach? Don't bring it. This is a real episode which came to me. Now, these are very shocking things, and I do not know how many of such cases are happening across the country, and how many complaints like these are going back as a feedback to the government. In the initial validation tool, which Infosys did, they made a mistake. See, I write the validation tool rules, the business rules, but I don't write the program. No, they can cheat me. They say, "Ha kar diya sir." How can you every time go and test? You cannot. Cost audit branch showed me sales minus cost of sales. Your sales is 100, cost of sales is 80, margin is 25. हमारा कैसे हो सकता है? बोले आप देखो ना, यही तो रिपोर्ट भरा है लोग. ऐसे लोग पास कैसे हो रहा है? How did it not get stuck in the validation tool? बोले ये तो पता नहीं. Look into my validation rule. Infosys को बुलाते उसको खोल दिया मैंने. ठीक है? Now last taxonomy जो हुआ 2019 taxonomy, I sat down. I made sure point by point that they implement. I took written clarification from them. Even after doing that today, I find there are 4 or 5 issues which they have not attended to. Now what the hell do I do? You tell me. This requires now involvement of MCA, ESL, e-governance cell, the cost audit cell, the cost audit branch people. There were people, when they understood, nowadays the people who are sitting there, they don't understand anything. I am unable to every time go to Delhi, sit with them and explain. So who is going to handle this? At some point of time, you get totally frustrated. It becomes very, very difficult. Let me come to this table that is easier than the rules. Because I have seen in many cases, members, when they are considering applicability of the cost accounting records and the cost audit, they are confused. Still they are confused. Should not be. See, right? They should not be. I have given a table. See, what does the rule say? The rule, when it deals, it talks of the turnover of products under Rule 3. It doesn't talk of individual products. So it's always the sum total of all these products. Here, in case 1, table A products, I have got a 5 crore turnover. Table B, I have got 10. So table A plus B is 15. Please do not look at 5 and 10 individually. That is wrong. Other products 19. So total operating revenue is 34. What is your minimum turnover criteria is 35. So it's not applicable at all. Either records or audit. In the second also see 5, 10, 15, but 25 of others, which means the total is 40. Total 40 means the company's threshold limit has crossed 35. It has crossed 35, but thereafter, under Rule 3 is the cost records applicable? It is applicable only so far as the cost records is concerned, not otherwise. In case 3 again, only table A products. Why? In cost audit, because here it is 10, 15, 25. 25 meets the threshold limit for A. Though A's turnover is only 10. If you try to see whether A's turnover has crossed 20, you are wrong. You understand what I am trying to say? Because it is the sum total of A and B. Cost audit would be then applicable only for table A products. Next one, case 4, you see 20, 14, total is 34. Other is 75, 109. Okay. So 100 crores it has crossed. Which means cost records is applicable for both A and B. But only table A products are applicable because that A plus B has not crossed 35. It has crossed 25. But in case 5, see the total is not 109 but 101, less than the earlier one. But the combination is such 20 plus 20 is 40. It has crossed 35, it has crossed 25. As a result, both table A and B products are applicable. Be very, very, very careful when you are reading this. Often people go on saying, नहीं मेरे तो 25 ये नहीं है 35 नहीं हुआ अरे कहाँ नहीं हुआ? You have to look into the total, not individual. Read the rule. Overall turnover from all its products and services of rupees 35 crores or more during the immediately preceding financial year. Overall, not individual. Read the rules. And that's why in the initial stage I said that be very careful that you are reading the rules properly. These are complete lists. You have this. What is the meaning of turnover? Here also people get confused. Okay. Section 291 of the Companies Act defines turnover as the aggregate value of the realization of amount made from the sale, supply or distribution of goods or on account of services rendered or both by the company during a financial year. Okay. For the purpose of these rules, turnover means gross turnover made by the company from the sale or supply of all products or services during the financial year. It includes any turnover from job work or loan license operations, but exclude duties and taxes. Turnover includes export benefit receipt. In many companies, you will find the export benefit is shown on the debit side as a less. Add it back. Get my point? It can be considered as the total operating revenue of the company. That is what your turnover is. CTA heading, the confusion is regarding that 8 digit, etc. The rule says Custom Tariff Act heading means the heading as referred to in the additional rules in the first schedule to the Customs Tariff Act. What is that? Read that. That is not given in the rule. They have only defined it so far as the CTA is concerned. Description and the CTA heading should be read harmoniously and constitutively supplementing each other. CTA codes are inclusive and all products covered under the codes are covered irrespective of the description. You know what I am trying to say here? Say in case of petroleum industry. Okay. In case of petroleum products regulated by the PNGRB and the CTA headings are 2709 to 2715. Hence, all products covered under the CTA heading 2709 to 2719 are included, as well as activities like storage, transportation, distribution of crude oil or gas, etc., and any other activity that is defined under the PNGRB Act. Why should I look only to 2709 to 2715? That has a supplement that it also has PNGRB Act. I will not read PNGRB Act in isolation or the codes in isolation. I will read both together. You get my point? Under 2709, or say up to 2715, the petroleum product, it's a Reliance. They have got huge transportations, either through tankers or through pipelines. What are the activities they are doing? The activities petroleum sector. Is it coming under PNGRB Act? Yes. Is it manufacture? No, it's service. It comes under custody. It comes under custody. Understood? Another example, rubber and allied products would include all rubber products as specified under 4001 to 4017 and will not be restricted only to such rubber products regulated by the rubber board. Actually, if you see, rubber board does not regulate anything. Rubber board is a research institution, it doesn't regulate anything. Without knowing, the ministry wrote regulated by rubber board. Rubber board has no regulation. It's not a regulatory board at all. So I have to define it according to us. Machinery, mechanical appliances falling under all these codes, similarly covered irrespective of its ultimate customer or consumer. What do I mean? You have got EPC contractors. You have got companies who are into engineering activities. Say like GE Power, say like Alstom earlier, Bell. They are installing, they are commissioning, they are taking huge contracts. When they are manufacturing, what are they doing? They are actually manufacturing these products. These products goes into their installation. But these products, when I am manufacturing, why should I leave it out of the ambit of cost cutting? your activity involves these CTA codes or not? If it is involved, it is there. At times it may be captive consumption, I don't disagree, but it will be there. So far as the cost is concerned, I'll build up the cost. Roads and other infrastructure, still now I will say that roads and construction, these two areas, there are confusions. It's not that there aren't confusions. We look at it on a case-to-case basis and then say whether this is applicable or not applicable. Construction is a very straight-cut meaning, but even few days back, suppose a company has constructed a mall. After construction of the mall, he has sold it off or rented it out. The company is also maintaining. He gets maintenance charges. He is maintaining the entire mall. That activity gets involved into this. I mean, construction activity. If it had sold out, then it would not have got involved. But this maintenance portion, it gets involved. Tollway, the road they have constructed, and now they have taken it on whatever that PPP for whatever the formula. They collect tolls. They maintain the roads. It is covered. This is another area which is important from the foreign exchange of 75% that we are talking of. I don't have the example here. There is a table, I don't remember whether I have it in this. You have to also understand that companies covered under maintenance of cost accounting records are exempted from cost audit if revenue from exports in foreign exchange exceeds 75% of its total revenue or operating in a special economic zone. Now, what is the revenue from export? Applicability is for products covered under table A or B. Now, suppose a company is there, 1,000 crore turnover. Okay. There, revenue from exports in foreign exchange is 75% of all products which are not even under table A and B. Why should I bother about that? That is not my point. I have to see whether the 75% covers my product A and B. You understood? Not this, not the total. I have the example somewhere else. I have to see. I don't think appointment procedure is required for you. Any clarification or see? I think I've been speaking enough. If you raise questions, then I think it's better. This I was speaking on. There are no specific formats. As I always say, there cannot be any exhaustive list of cost accounting records. Any transaction, statistical, quantitative, or other details that are bearing on the cost of the product or service are important. What is required is to maintain such records and details in a structured manner on a regular basis so that accumulation is possible on a periodical basis. So what would constitute my records? These are to be maintained on a regular basis. The misconception is that I do this now, I do that, then compare, bring in an analogy. When I am talking of asking that, are you maintaining your account? Financial account. When you enter into a transaction, you write a voucher. When you place an order for purchase, you give a purchase intent. When you receive the goods, you will have a GRM. You have a store record. When you are issuing stores, you are giving an issue slip. What are these? These are day-to-day transactions. Without these, when you are paying to somebody, you are writing a cash voucher or a bank voucher. Payment of salary, You are doing that. Now all this, when it gets accumulated in a structured manner, it becomes your financial account. Right? Suppose I don't generate the profit and loss account today. Does it mean I don't have the financial account? It's not going to fall from the sky. At any end of any period, I will draw a profit and loss account and a balance sheet. That is what? That is the outcome of having maintained the financial accounting. If you did not have this, you would not get a profit and loss account balance sheet. If you had only two heads, expense, income, everything put under expense, is that a financial accounting? No. It's a structured manner of capturing. Once I have done that, now you come back and say, do I have my cost accounting? I have my records. How? When I have paid salaries, I have said salary paid to Kunal Banerjee. But then I say salary paid to Kunal Banerjee employed here in admin, in the floor shop, in this cost center, which means these classifications now I am doing. Stove I have consumed for what? Where I have issued. So these are the things you are building up. These are all there in the base. But when you are designing a system, of course, what you are basically doing, you are accumulating and analyzing these data in a manner so that a cost structure can be built. Correct? What is the outcome of this? Cost statement. A cost statement. So, coming to a company and saying he has not maintained cost records is absolute rubbish. Wrong. Because you are not looking at the problem with the proper perspective. I agree that all this time, a new company, he was doing a thumb rule costing. Itna hai, ye hai, itna aaya, itna gaya. I agree. It is your duty to teach him what is a structured cost accounting. How do you do that? To actually use the data he has maintained. Yes, today when you go and see, maybe you find these employee costs are not actually properly departmentalized or maintained cost center-wise. Introduce them. You see that his stores, consumptions, he has maintained, but he has not maintained it proper link to the product or to the cost center. His fixed costs are not classified accordingly. But data is there. You cannot say there is no data. It cannot fall from the sky. Na? You have to, this is what is your responsibility. Once you start doing that, you will find that the company is looking forward to you. In very large companies, these are already structured. I'm not talking of such companies. I'm not talking of companies having SAP, but they are all rubbish. In the sense that they think SAP means I press a button, everything comes out. Nothing comes out. Nothing comes out. They all talk rubbish. Because directors have already spent crores. Okay? So because of that, they have already taken a call. So they can't say that they don't have data. But actually they don't have anything. They only download it in Excel and then play around. Okay. Now when you do that, that is where you are actually doing your job. Do that. You will be, if it's a medium scale companies, please go to them, explain to them. You will reap the benefit of that. Without that, you will never progress. Never progress. In one of the largest companies, the first time I went, they said, "Sir, you have got SAP." I said, "So what will you do?" "I'll give you a cost." "How will you give?" "No problem. Reconcile होगा ना? ठीक है, हम लंच करने जा रहे हैं." But I knew 7 days I gave, and every time he will come and say, "One more day." तो आफ्टर 7 days ऐसे फालतू का बात मत किया कर भाई, कुछ होगा नहीं, ठीक है? तो लेकिन ये कैसे हो रहा है? तो वैसे ही होगा because you don't have the controls. SAP are only individual modules, na? They will say I have introduced CO module. That CEO module comes to an end at a structure at that cost center. After that, where is that? Nothing. You can't do this. The flow is not there. SAP cannot do an allocation of power to a water stream power. Forget about simultaneous. They can't do an allocation on a stepwise step ladder method. That also cannot be done. So, and another basic thing is the entire SAP is based on standard cost. Your cost is actual. How will you reconcile? You won't be able to do that. So there are difficulties. SAP is extremely good for control. You have to understand what it is for, what it is good for. Everything is not good for everything. It's not, does not happen. Maintenance of cost accounting records mandatory for a multi-product companies where all the products are not covered under the rules. Even if the turnover of the individual products that are covered under the rules is less than ₹35 crores. The rules provide threshold limits for the company as a whole, irrespective of whether all its products are as per the prescribed industry or sector provided under Table A or B. Right? There is no exemption if the turnover of the products or services covered under Table A or B is below the threshold limit of ₹35 crores. What I am trying to say here, the basic mistake is, I am a multi-product company. I have got various products. I have got products under Table A and B, 10 products. 8 products, these Table A and B, some of the products are maybe 10 lakhs, 2 lakhs. So the 10 lakh here. Again overall, you cannot get out of maintenance of cost records for those products which have got a turnover less. You have to maintain. Whether you have need to file nowadays, you don't need to file separate forms here. It's only one. Even if you have got multiple cost auditors. This is important. How to capacity utilization. This many people make a mistake. I have a production facility. Now, when I have a production facility, I have my available capacity, as I have given an example, 36,000 tons. In this production facility, I produce 2, 3, 10 different products. Here I have given an example of 2. Out of this, I have produced one item which is CTA code 7201 and another is 7203. I have produced 7201 18,950 tons and 7203 I have produced 12,491. Okay. How will you calculate the capacity utilization into B1s? Will it be 18,950 divided by 36,000? It will be the average. Total. My total capacity is 36,000 and I have produced a total of 31,441. So, my capacity utilization is 87%. It is not 18,950 divided by 36,000, or many others also profess, no, this year's 36,000, so 36 I will divide between 7201 and 7203 in the proportion of the actual production. It's absolutely wrong. You don't go on changing your Production capacity up and down depending on what my production was. The capacity utilization is in totality. Give a note in B1. Applicability of cost account because cost audit for products for captive consumption. These also there has been a lot of confusion, I don't know why. Maintenance of records for all products falling under Rule 3 is mandatory. It doesn't consider whether it's captive, whether it's self, this, that. If it's under table A or B, maintenance of records is compulsory. If a product is manufactured and 100% captively consumed for production of some other product, which is also subject to cost audit, a separate cost audit report or a statement for the captively consumed product is not necessary. What do I mean? I have a power generating plant. Power is under this, right? So, in that, what do? I prepare a cost statement of power. What happens to that power? Power gets transferred to my production process. 100% it has gone into this. So, the final product of the all other includes the cost of power, which is also at cost, prepared in terms according to the cost accounting records. Now, if the product is partly for captive and partly sold, or if the product is 100% captively consumed for production of some other product, which is not covered under cost audit, then cost audit would be applicable. Cost audit means what? I mean cost audit report, a statement. Cost audit report is there. It depends on whether I add a statement or not. Understand this point, second point. What happens? I have a cost statement. So when it goes step by step, generating, then I have got a line, captive consumption. It just got transferred into this. The balance is sold. Now, if I don't show that balance as a margin, will my D2 reconcile? D2 will not reconcile because this margin will be left. So that statement is required there. Why? Because the sum total of all these margins goes into D2. Another taxonomy rules. Think it from that angle also. I think I am okay. True. This is again a completely different rule. If you have any questions, let us handle those. Isn't it? Maybe. Spoken a lot after a long time.
Item for manufacture the packaging. Whether it comes under cost audit?
I can't tell you CTA wise. See, it is in the list of them.
Yeah.
If 4819 is there in the list, then it comes.
Paper they are given 4801 and 4802 only.
Then that those are the two for reporting. That's a misnomer, can't be held.
Okay.
Okay, say like in same thing has happened in cotton textile, jute, certain things are there, certain are not there, brainwave or Ashokan, why he did it, why he did not, nobody knows. We have tried it, we tried adding a few more products. When you prepare cost records, a paper company produces different GSM papers. It comes under different CTA codes. Now, can you say I will only prepare cost of 10 items and leave out 50 other items? You cannot. So you have to do everything. For reporting purposes, whatever codes are covered, you report that. So, and the entire reconciliation will show products under cost audit, products not under cost audit. That's all. Cost sheet has to be prepared. No use thinking or trying to say why it is not included. The why cannot be answered. They are government people. So they have decided something without understanding. I've tried to explain, we were nearly trying to do it, but then at a certain point of time we get stuck. In between 4 years we lost. You have to have again good understanding people who will understand.
One more question, sir. Company under cost audit for the first time. Reporting of the earlier year figure. Because the company was under cost group, but the turnover for the first time in the last year and company was under audit for the first time. Now, are you going to report the earlier year figure for in the cost audit?
Tell me what. The company in the first year was not under cost audit.
Yes.
Was it under maintenance of cost records?
Yes.
How?
Because
Because it is actually the second year. The year before that had a turnover of 35 crores an hour. So the first year you had maintenance of cost records, which was mandatory. In the third year, it has come under cost audit. Why? Because second year crossed the turnover of 100 crores. So immediately preceding financial year is above 100 crores. In the third year, you are preparing the cost audit report. You have the previous year cost accounting records. So you have to provide.
but it is unaudited and
Not
automated.
audited, doesn't matter. Write in your, that is what I say. You write that the previous year figures are based on cost accounting records maintained by the company, which are not audited by us.
But as a cost accountant, I will have to sit and segregate and prepare the cost sheet for the earlier year of the following.
You are not responsible.
Yes.
Company is responsible. Company has maintained cost record. It's supposed to have maintained.
Yes.
So he will provide you with the data. That's all.
So one more last final question, I think which is very much relevant regarding the application of the cost audit. Turnover of the company is 600 crores. 600 crores is the total turnover of the company. Around 595 crores, the product is the paper, it is covered in the cost audit. One more company manufactures paper, one more cable not covered in the cost audit. They manufacture power by the windmill, hardly 25 lakhs and sell it to the Tamil Nadu Electricity Board. Now regarding the cost audit applicability for the wind power generated and sold to Tamil Nadu Electricity Board, whether it is in the cost audit applicability, it applies, no? Yes, sir.
See, the amount of turnover, the amount, quantum is not relevant. It will be practical. In 2011 rules, we had introduced one particular concept that if the total turnover is less than 2%, we have not been able to do that this time. We didn't want to touch 2014 rules. That time we had the leeway.
Encourage production that was mentioned. Company was taking
We
the
defined it accordingly. The genesis of that was T.
no, company was told that that rule has been superseded and that whatever the notification
You can't do that.
was on the cost audit. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to thank you for a wonderful presentation, sir. Because whenever we had to we have interacted with you directly and giving all the notes clarified, so that at this time your notes are there. But
I don't know how far of it was relevant today, but okay, you can say it's a recap or whatever.
And good evening to you. You just told me that about that 75% export. That one, the English used is 75% of the total turnover. I think it is, I got a bit confused when you were explaining that. That, only cable A, cable B.
I don't have it readily. If you see my book, it's there. I just now I could not recall the entire thing, but the interpretation of that was accepted by the law.
I see.
Yes.
But the English use is total.
Total, but then there are other words. I don't have it in my mind right now. See the book, the example is there of calculation. In my book, it's there.
we are waiting for the revised one, sir. Updated one.
As I told you, those who are using this book, please send me your observations, where you want these changes to be done, where you want it to be more expanded. then it is easier for me to work on it.
Of course, I would like to just say only one thing in that, because now CRA1 includes the maintenance of all the records required for the related party transactions. RPT has become part of the cost record, if you really look at it. And so I think it gives more responsibility to us as cost auditors with regard to RPT.
So, thinking it in that term is will lose the efficacy of the cost audit. Please understand that RPT is not our.
Definitely. No, that's why I was about to come to that point. But the question is, it is part of cost records as it stands
No,
today.
the point is they may ask for anything. My point is that indirect taxation by which your D6 gets generated. RPT, what am I going to do? The way it is written, an RPT report will run into 10,000 pages for any of these engineering companies.
Correct.
Am I going to do only that? Individual products, individual items, it doesn't make any sense. So why should I get into that? That's the way I developed the taxonomy. There could have been put in many other validation rules. If I had put that in, it would have been gone. MCA wanted that, I said get lost. तो इसमें क्यों नहीं होगा हम लोग पागल है क्या मेरा रिपोर्ट बनना है वो फालतू चीज में आपको नहीं
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Myself, Harshita, I have now. So the client is having 2 production lines. He's manufacturing 4 different products, A, B, C, D, and all the 4 products he's manufacturing using the same 2 production lines.
Same?
2 production lines. Like there are like 10 machineries which are installed. So what he's doing, he's manufacturing all the 4 lines using the same machineries. He will do all those processing and then he will manufacturing in a month. So how do I ascertain capacity utilization if all the products are able to manufacture using the same machineries?
2 production lines, that is what you said. 2 machines. And my other output products are different products, but can be processed by both these machines simultaneously. Correct? Which means I'm looking at a total capacity, first of all. My total, I can do it individually also, depends on you. Suppose I look at one machine 1. Machine 1 processes 4 different products. The example that I showed you, it has got a 10,000 ton capacity. It produces one as 2,000, another 4,000, whatever. So you can take 10,000, sum total of all these 4 products, and that will be the capacity utilization of machine number 1. Similarly for machine number 2. In that case, suppose machine 1 and machine 2 both produces one common product, cannot be added up. So that common product will have 2 cost items. If you want to combine it, average cost, then the capacity utilization will also be 2 combined together. It depends on your utility. What do you want to see?
In B1, annexure. So how do I show for product A the capacity, total capacity? Should I like how?
This is an example. This is steel plant. This particular process produces sponge iron. Okay. It has got 4 plants: Vijayanagar, Dalli, Salem, and Salam. Okay. Each of these has got different sponge iron plants, individual capacity. See, the individual capacity I'm picking up from a matrix, I'm picking up from a different data, because this particular process may be producing different other items as well. This is what has been produced. Now, this 64.27% is not capacity utilization, is not this total divided by this total. There is an average coming in through that. Because I have combined. If you see a particular Right? This is the structure. I've given you all the definitions here. See, actually the basic validation tool is based on these formulas. This is what has gone through them for generation. But when you are looking at this capacity, is there any formula? I'm not. If it's a single product, that formula will be there. But if it's common in the sense sort of an example? No. Because the 87.34 you will not get into the individual P1. 87.34 is calculated separately. You give a note below that this is the average of this. That this is my total component. This is what I have done. You want to see a note?
So, can you open the turnover sheet, sir? Explain.
Which one?
The turnover thing, sir, 35 and 25.
What? Limit.
That limit. Applicable. 3. So how to explain to the client that CA, because CA only will, actually, the company CA only will decide, sir, cost audit is applicable or not. So how to explain them, sir, this case 3?
Then first ask him whether he understands English or not. If he understands English, then ask him whether he has read the company's cost records and audit rules.
Okay.
Okay.
So see, sir, that the table A, sir, you can see that turnover is 10. So they will tell that table A turnover is not more than 25. So how that cost audit is applicable like that?
Sir, process in the factory itself. What is the capacity I should consider for this place?
Turbine means?
So this is for power generation turbines. Power generation turbines, the same factory also sells a space also which is partly manufactured inside the company.
Space.
Space for the machine.
Space.
Yeah.
No, space is different.
But both are covered under the audit.
Take it.
So how do I consider the capacity for this space?
See, capacity for the space is very difficult to determine because either if you have, in that case, in this sort of a space cost statement, you will not even get a quantity. You don't have a divisor because different types of spares are included.
Yes, sir.
But normally they do manufacture the spares also, whatever they have for the OEM, they do manufacture the spares.
One way is to include it into the cost of the turbine, which is a insurance product, like that.
So second thing is, can you just highlight on the audit documentation for our members? Audit documentation. And other thing is on the audit trail, what is the significance of the audit trail?
will be discussed after July 1st.
Sir, actually, one thing. 142(2)A income tax section that has been amended, inventory valuation. Okay, cost auditor, inventory valuation report can be taken by the assigning officer with the permission of the CMA. But the company is under already cost audit. And income tax department people are already asking the company regarding the inventory valuation because company under already cost audit, get the inventory valuation that has been done by the cost auditor and we will see because they have understood the concept. The closing stock that with zero difference. Till date, the certification was taken by the chartered accountant from the management, as certified by the management. And what I have seen in the company where I was the auditor, and I used to put the difference in the inventory valuation differences. But this is the first year I am facing the pressure from the company because they understood the concept now, because the changes in the law and the assessing officer is asking the information. So the question mark is the companies and the ERP system. ERP system is giving the total closing stock, everything is giving. What these guys were doing is a financial reporting purpose. Some inventory as per their convenience and advance taxes paid, they were taking inventory and they were taking the inventory on raw material plus subcontract charges. The quantity differences were there. Now my question I asked to the company, audit trail is applicable for the company. From 1st April 2023, audit trail is applicable. So any changes they make in the software system, they will have to give the explanation and they will have to give the explanation and subsequently they will be in trouble. So my point of view is the responsibility for the cost auditor has increased after 142 2A amendment has come. Not only they have given the new one, definitely we will have to see how the assessing officer will take the call. But presently the assessing officer for the companies which are under cost audit, they are asking the evaluation by the cost auditor kindly provided.
First of all, you mentioned that if it is a SAP system, how these differences coming up? Number one, when you are doing this, what you are actually doing is you are taking the year-end all figures together and doing an averaging. Whereas in SAP, it is on a day-to-day moving average method. So this sort of a difference in the valuation of stock is wrong. I don't agree. Because SAP or any other system of a computerized one has to see the principle. What are the components that I am taking in? There may be minor certain differences here and there. That's ignorable. It's not that I have a huge difference. If the principle is correct, say like, I don't consider while inventorizing, I'm not taking admin overhead, I'm not taking selling and distribution overhead, then it's fine. I'm taking manufacturing overheads only after that. These are okay. But if I start nitpicking that what I should say, that the entire structure, I'm now comparing with the year-end average, never it will get. Your average cost, if it will vary, if you do cost on a monthly basis, also that will differ.
No, my question is the company was manipulating the quantity available.
See, I'm first talking about the principle.
Yes.
Principally, see, why should I first see the manipulation? I'm now looking at first the principle. Now you come. The company is manipulating. If it is a manipulation doesn't follow any principle. That is a different issue altogether. I always approach a businessman as an honest businessman. If there is a manipulation, that will be an exception.
Quantity available in the ERP system.
No, you can give the others also chance.
No, you can just a minute.
Fair enough, my point is there you can definitely. Now, what you will go and tell income tax later, that is income tax is the policeman. You are not the policeman.
Yes.
You are not the policeman. Your purpose is, if the quantity is wrong, you are not going to take that wrong quantity. It's as simple as that.
What is available in the ERP that I will take and valuation as per the principles.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
My feeling is, even if we take that way, what happens is, we will have to continuously maintain the difference. See, the costing records.
I don't believe this difference at all. I don't agree to this difference at all. I've got many here because it's a question of the basic principle of determining the average. I mean, the inventory average.
Right. No, otherwise, what happens is it has to be accumulated. Otherwise, it has to observe in the yearly basis, in the reconciliation statement or somewhere and close it. Otherwise, it becomes a very big headache because you have to maintain the opening stocks will be at a different value, closing stock will be so other differences, and it will be a continuous record of this inventory. It will present more problems.
Any more questions? So, sir, we move ahead towards the vote of thanks, official vote of thanks. As we draw to a close of this remarkable gathering, I would like to take a moment to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to all those who have made this event a resounding success. First and foremost, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, CMA Kunal Banerjee sir, for gracing us with his presence today. Sir's wisdom, expertise, and inspiring words have left an inedible mark on us. We are truly privileged to have had an opportunity to learn from Sir's experiences and insights. In fact, I should depth of showing actual workings at the ground level, Excel sheets, it was just remarkable. I think everybody should watch for that. Further, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to our former president, GNV sir, former SIRC chairman, CMA Ramesh sir, CMA BR Prabhakar sir, former chairman and chairpersons of Bangalore chapter. Also, I would like to specially mention thanks to our college representatives who have come from RC College, from MLA College, from BMS College, and also other colleges. Thank you, madam. Thank you for making it to the evening. I would like to express our gratitude to each and every one of you, our esteemed participants. Your active engagement, insightful questions, and willingness to share your own experiences have enriched the discussions of the evening and made this gathering truly dynamic and engaging. Lastly, I would like to acknowledge the hard work and commitment of our entire team, including the staff of BCCA. Their passion, professionalism, and tireless efforts have been instrumental in making this program a grand success. I think after a long time, we have had a jam-packed audience today in the PD program. In conclusion, I would like to thank everyone involved in making this professional gathering a resounding success. Your contributions, whether big or small, have made a significant impact. Let us carry the knowledge, connections, and inspirations gained from this gathering forward as we continue to strive for excellence in our CMA practice. Thank you all once again, and we look forward to crossing paths again in future. Wish you all success, continued success in your endeavors. Thank you. Now we shall have the national anthem, and I would request all of you to please join us for dinner after the national anthem.
भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
जय हिंद. I again request all of you to please join us for dinner. Thank you.